Hi, everyone. Thanks for giving me a few minutes. Today I'm going to talk about some insights on perspective taking. This skill is often overlooked, but it's actually the foundation of how we communicate and work together. If we misunderstand how perception works, we risk making unfair judgments that can hurt relationships and reduce effectiveness at work and in life. The purpose of this talk is to explain what perspective taking is, why it matters, and how we can use it to improve teamwork. The scope includes the perception process, the main influences on perception, the errors we commonly make, and practical steps we can take to get better at it. If you understand that we can frame this using the four E's. First, evaluation, how we form impressions and judge behavior. Second, economy, narrowing our focus to the most important factors like culture and stereotypes. Third, spotting, perception errors before they waste our energy and create conflict. And finally, expediency, practical strategies we can use right away to build stronger communication. Here's the background problem. In every workplace, we are constantly interpreting others' behavior. Someone comes in late, someone tones sound short, or decision feels unexpected. We immediately assign meaning. The issue is, many of us assume our perceptions are accurate, when in fact they may be incomplete or biased. And that misunderstanding can become a serious barrier to teamwork and trust. So then, what criteria can we use to improve? First, understanding the perception process itself, selection, organization, and interpretation. Second, recognizing the influences on perception such as culture, stereotypes, and first or last impressions. Third, being aware of attribution errors like the self, serving bias where we credit ourselves for the success but blame circumstances for failure, and the fundamental attribution error where we assume someone's behavior reflects their personality instead of outside pressures. The findings are showing perception is how it's both powerful and flawed, as we only notice certain stimuli, usually what is unusual, frequent, or intense. Then we classify these people into categories based on traits, roles, behaviors. Finally, we need to interpret what it means, influenced by our experience and expectations. But this process is not neutral. Culture can shift how we interpret the same behavior. Stereotypes can simplify reality but lead to offensive mistakes. First impressions stick more than later ones, and the most recent impressions can override everything else. Together, these patterns show that while perception is natural, it's not always reliable. So, what can we do? Here are my recommendations. Practice active listening before assuming and clarifying questions. Develop self monitoring. Notice how your own behavior affects others. Challenge stereotypes by focusing on individuals instead of categories. Remind yourself that first impressions and recent impressions aren't the whole story. And finally, encourage self fulfilling prophecies. When you expect success and cooperation, your actions help make it happen. To wrap up, perspective taking is about slowing down our judgments, checking our biases, and remembering that perception is filtered, not flawless. When we get this right, we communicate more effectively and build stronger, more respectful teams. Thank you for listening, And I hope this gives you a fresh perspective on why perspective taking is such a key skill in the workplace. Here. Thank you.